Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here, and look what we have today. This is a Royal Enfield Himalayan Scram 411, but this is a special one. We've seen this bike before, but today it's got this AEW India exhaust. Check that thing out. Isn't that pretty? I have not heard it running yet. I don't know what it sounds like. I can tell you that it looks good. These will also fit in the Himalayans. Baxter Cycle just got a whole truckload of these in. Really neat looking product. Let's hop on this bike and see what it does. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's pretty good. The baffle is in. They left the baffle in. It does come out. What do y'all think? Definitely bassier. I like it. I like it. Let's take it for a spin. We are here at Marnie, Iowa, home of Baxter Cycle, seller of new and used Royal Enfield and Triumphs. If you're interested in something like that, get a hold of these guys. I think that's a very good sound. Let's try it the other way. I love these bikes. These Scrams, they handle so well. I love my Himalayan. I've got a standard Himalayan. Oh, look and listen to that. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. It's not too loud. It's got a different note to it. So the Scram has got the same engine as the standard Himalayan, the 411cc single overhead cam, 2 valve, single cylinder. Look at this. Handled beautifully. 24 horsepower, 24 foot-pounds of torque. I think that's 32 Newton meters. I believe that's right. Look at this. Ha, ha, ha. Beauty, man, beauty. The wheelbase is slightly shorter on this one. I think the Himalayan's 58 inches. I can't remember what this one is. I'll put it below right now. The front wheel on this is a 19-inch. Listen to that pipe. Versus the standard 21 and the standard Himalayan. The advantage of the 21-inch tire is when you're out in the middle of, mud and gravel. It gives you a little more stability, a little more ability to run over things. There's an ad to it, but it's not a super loud ad. It's a good sound. Like I said, the baffle is in. What do y'all think? AEW India. I like it. The Royal Enfield Himalayan is, I consider this a truly Indian motorcycle. It's, of course, built in India, but it's also an original Indian design. A lot of the modern Enfields are, they're bringing back the old, like the old classics and the old meteors and things like that. This is a brand all unto its own, and it's quite an interesting machine. I have one of my own, of course, with 18,000 miles on it. I just love that bike. I think it's a good looking pipe too. First time I saw it this morning, it was very pleasing. I love riding these things. Seat height on a bike like this is about, I think it's 795 millimeters, which is 31.5 inches or 31.3 inches, something like that. A little bit less than a Himalayan. We didn't do the hill spin test, did we? Let's go do that. This thing just turns around on a dime. Okay, we're gonna do it backwards this time. Look at that, huh? Look at that. Just a beautiful thing. Just a beautiful thing. I love the way these things handle. If you're ever in Marnie, Iowa, that's the Derailleur Drill. Give those guys a shot. Good food. Good eats. I just love riding these. I love these bikes. I just love these bikes. Loads of torque. The front suspension travels a little less than a standard Himalayan. I think it's 7.5 inches. I'll put the millimeters below. The rear is the same. The rear tire is the same as well. I think the rear is 7.1 inches of travel. Another big difference this has over the Himalayan is this area right here. The Himalayan has the support system with a system here that holds the instrument panel and the windshield and the headlight all still. It always faces forward, regardless of how you do this. This bike, it's all part of the fork system. so it moves independent from the frame of the bike. Well, you know what, let's go down here. This also has a different cluster. This has this Oculus, I call it. Speedometer analog on the top. It's got a fuel gauge arched over the center here on the LED part. The clock's always visible. A gear indicator right there. Odometer. And up here, I think it's right up here on my right hand. Watch for traffic. If I push this button over here, I can change the values here. Trip A, trip B, odometer. It's nice having that up there, by the way. I really do enjoy riding this motorcycle. I need to get one of these for a 100-mile ride. Maybe we'll try to get one of those next week, something like that. Other thing up here is the nav, this thing here, the nav thing, and that ties in with your phone, and it will. You can put in a destination. It'll give you turn-by-turn directions, you know, distance, how far you got left to go, all that kind of neat stuff. I'm just having fun here, aren't I? We rarely go to this side of town. Let's go see what's back here. You know, the pipe is loud, but it's not it's not obtrusively loud. It's not screaming. Like I said, the baffle does come out. Does it add power? I don't know. That's a good question. This Himalayan, the 411, I believe, feels like it has more power than the standard Himalayan because, for one thing, this bike is, I think it's 31 pounds lighter than the standard Himalayan. You know, that's significant, 7-8%. And also, it feels, the handling is much more, you know, with that 19-inch front tire, it has a lot more nimble feeling, the handling does, on pavement. I have ridden one of these on gravel. It does just fine on gravel. Yeah, I think if you were going to buy a primarily gravel bike, you probably should go with the standard Himalayan because of the 21-inch wheel. A lot of advantage to that there. But this is a perfect bike for, you know, running about and having a ball and doing all kinds of fun stuff in town. If I was a city dweller, I'd certainly have one of these. You know what the big question really is how does this compare to the Hunter? Maybe we should do a video on that. You know what? Look for that. We'll try to do a video on that. The Hunter versus the Royal Enfield Hunter versus the Royal Enfield Himalayan Scram 411. You guys are going to think I just like spinning around in circles, and the answer is I actually do. A very interesting sound. I like this. I do like it. There's a lot of good choices for pipes on Himalayans, and I think this is also a good one. I can't remember what they cost. I'll put the price right down below right here, right now. Alright, my friends, if you're in the market for a new or used Royal Enfield, Triumph, or British bike of any type, new or vintage, get yourselves down here to Baxter Cycle or go to baxtercycle.com. See what they got in stock. If they don't see what you got, if you don't see what you want, give those guys a call. Ask for Jeremy or Mark. They can help you out. Now, if the weather's great where you're at, get out there and ride, my friends. Wahoo!